Welcome in, and today I'm going to talk to you about how and why Marvel Rivals is not a competitive game, so we shouldn't make it one. Now let me explain. I know there's esports in Marvel Rivals, I know there's a huge competitive scene in Marvel Rivals, but that's not where it thrives. That's not where the selling point is. The selling point is the gimmicks. The selling point are the characters. The selling point is the art style. In my opinion, competitive sure can be in the game, but not as its main focus. You should not cater to very competitive people because they will always try and make things easier for themselves. No matter what people say, they want things easier for themselves because always people have biases or biases, whatever it is. If you're a dive main, you would want certain supports to be nerfed. If you're a support, you want certain dives to be nerfed because you two interact so much. And let's say you are a bad dive main going after, I don't know, a Mantis and a Atom backline, you can't kill them at all. Well, you're gonna say from your experiences that Atom and Mantis are super powerful, so they need nerfs. Same goes if you're a bad support and you're going against the very weakest dive, which I think the weakest dive is actually stronger than like multiple supports right now. But my point is, no matter what you are, a flyer, a poke, a brawl, a dive, a support, etc., whatever you are, you're gonna have some sort of biases on your philosophy on game design, game balancing. No matter how much you try to take that bias away, it will be there. So we shouldn't be catering to these competitive people. I don't think we should have an esports in Marvel Rivals. I'll just state that. What works in Marvel Rivals, just look at the newest updates. Deadpool brought in, I believe, the highest amount of new players. And do you think he takes himself seriously? Do you think Deadpool is a serious character? No. He brought the most amount of players to Marvel Rivals. Other than he's a big name, but every single character really in Rivals right now is a big name other than certain few, but even Jeff, he's now a big name. Deadpool is a very comedic character. There's been memes about him. Jeff right now, pretty much the poster child of Marvel Rivals. I mean, he's gotten a twerk emote. He's gotten a pet emote. These comedic things. Venom got a twerk emote as well. Deadpool got a twerk emote. These are funny things that are added to Marvel Rivals, which just make everything way more fun and enjoyable. You look at the game modes, the PvE game modes. First the zombies, which everybody loved. I personally didn't play it that much. He said at the time I was kind of out of Rivals. But if you look at the new one with Dracula, with Kingpin, people love that. Each map has a gimmick, which you see how much these competitive players dislike these gimmicks. Like with the newest map, the New York map, people don't like the scan feature. The collectors, these walls you can't heal or shoot from. And the Asgard maps, Loki with his illusions brings back all of the destroyed structures. I could go on and on about all of these, but still, the best features added to Rivals have been non-competitive features. The 18v18 game mode, which everyone loves and I believe is a permanent feature, everybody loved. Everyone is still loving. It's a very good game mode. The Clone Rumble, everyone loved that. The Big Head mode, everyone loved that. The Ultron strategy game, that is my favorite game mode so far. I wish they brought it back. I believe it's still in custom games, but still, I absolutely love that. I love the different strategies. I loved how you could actually do different things and select certain characters because everyone was viable. Sure, it was a bit overtuned with like 6 tanks, for instance, in the later game, and with certain characters, but you needed to build around that. I remember doing these gimmicks with that game, like 6 supports, 6 DPS, 6 tanks, and it was just so fun to do. And in the long run, if you have a game which is fully competitive, which is like a hyperbole both ends right now, just as an example, what do you think would be more enjoyable to play? Marvel Rivals if it heavily leaned in the competitive sphere, or Marvel Rivals if it heavily leaned in the more arcadey game modes? I know what my choice would be. It's the arcadey game modes. Not only does it bring in way more features, but the number one complaint right now in the Rivals community, other than the community itself, because some people are just very egotistical and stupid, it's a competitive scene. People say the integrity of ranked is not good. There's people with negative win rates that are hard stuck in all these ranks, like bronze, silver, gold, platinum, whatever. There's people hard stuck in these ranks talking like they know better than people who are in celestial and above. And while yes, in different ranks there's different experiences, there are global truths, which people disagree with somehow. And with all of this, and the big content creators from Overwatch coming over, the community from Overwatch coming over, you have seen the game try to shift more and more and more more into the competitive scene. Hell, look at the esports. Look at all these tournaments. Look at all these people saying how to play this character in ranked like a day after they got released, not even a day after. I think Rivals should lean into these more fun, gimmicky, arcadey type game modes. Like with the Loki one that's coming out with all the Avengers films. That is what is good. I don't know how it's going to work 100%, but what they're describing is going to be a very arcadey game mode, not competitive. The world right now needs less competitive toxicity, especially Rivals. We got a lot of the player base from Overwatch and they were so toxic over there. Trust me, I've dipped my toes into the Overwatch community a little bit. They are like 10 times more toxic than Rivals. Even these big content creators from Overwatch that came to Rivals then back to Overwatch when it actually became semi-decent again, they'll tell you that like Rivals quick play and Rivals competitive is like a vacation from Overwatch because of the toxicity. And we shouldn't feed into these people who are super toxic, who want ranked to be a completely different beast, to cater to more to these negative win rate people. Because if we aren't going to do ranked correctly, we shouldn't also at the same time make it easier to climb. Because there's negative win rates in Celestial right now. There's negative win rates in GM. And that shouldn't be the case. In the second highest and third highest rank in the game, there's negative win rates up there. And people use an excuse of, oh, these people are boosted and all that. But no, it's just how the game is. You earn and lose points at a way different rate. And if we aren't going to fix ranked, we should lean into the more arcade and this overall fun comedic game modes. I bet you, even if Rivals did like a Deadpool one, where he's just going around petting different Jeffs, and you need to like pet 50 Jeffs, I don't know, that would like bring in way more people, and you earn like certain emotes, I don't know. That would bring in a lot more people, and they'd be like, hey, yeah, we added one more band slot in Marvel Rivals Ranked. Like, sure, that helps a little bit, but that doesn't actually help with the core flaw. It doesn't really help with the core gameplay. You see now how people have reacted to the Vampire, Dracula, and Kingpin PvE mode right now. It came out early because, in my opinion, that shows they actually care about the arcade game modes. I feel like they want to turn in that direction, just based purely on what he did. I'm not going to say the name because I feel like I'll butcher it, but the game balance patch notes person, the game stats adjustment, whatever you want to call him. It feels like he really likes the arcade type styles of the game modes. He doesn't want the competitive scene to take over, which I agree with. I fully endorse. Maybe it's not his ideal way of doing things. Maybe that's not his actual way of doing things. He doesn't want that. But in my opinion, he does the game modes, the PvE, the gimmicky game modes, way faster and more balanced and refined than competitive has ever been. And if that's the case, just purely off of that, he should lean into more arcade game modes. We should have permanent game modes which are like that. Imagine at any time being able to switch through the Ultron game mode, the Big Head game mode, the Clone Rumble game mode, the 13v13 game mode. I remember how fun every single one of those were and are. It shouldn't be limited time for all these things because they are so fun to do. Now I know this video is kind of shorter compared to what I normally do, but I hope you see my opinions on this. A lot of people are calling for Rivals to become a more competitive game. It should not be that. It should never be a competitive game. Keep that into other games, like in Overwatch for example. Keep that a competitive game. Don't turn Rivals into that. There's a reason there's a freaking shark called Jeff the Land Shark as a support. There's a freaking raccoon with a gun on support. There's a walking boulder as a tank. I mean, with all of these things in the game, it is built up as a arcade game mode. Just look at the designs of all of them. Just look in depth in the game for me and try to tell me and explain to me how it's a competitive game. Now, I'll end on this. While I do think competitive game modes could be added to the game, I think it should stick with competitive. It should stick with that core game mode. They shouldn't expand beyond that. And I think they should add more permanent, long-term arcade game modes like the PvE game modes, the Kingpin Dracula one, the Zombies one, these mini story bundles in a way, the Loki one, the Big Head. I mean, you even see with the free fight right now, where you can choose an infinite amount of characters per team, but you can ban 2 people. Let me know if you guys agree with me on this. Should Rivals lean into the more arcade type game modes, or should they try to return and more lean into heavily the competitive scene? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next YouTube video. See ya.